Are you asking about that forest, boy? About the one where no one goes anymore? Well, I'll tell you, but you'd better not tell anyone. Some stories should not be mentioned out loud because the forest is listening, always. I was born in Tillamook County, Oregon, the small town of Cleverton. 2 streets, an old bar, a shop and a post office. All around are mountains, rains, and endless forests. Here, the smell of moisture does not disappear even in August, and moss grows on everything, even on the stop signs. It was there, between the hills, that forest was Centerwood. Now it is not on any map, but once every child knew, don't go there. My grandfather said that the forest there is not simple, that he is alive and does not like to be approached. We children laughed. How is it that the trees feel something, but hunters bypass that place, even foresters? And they did not go there. And always from time to time, someone disappeared. The first one I remember was a veteran, Ray Holt, an old guy who fought in Vietnam. He went hunting and never came back. His pickup truck was found near an old bridge. On the seat was an unfolded map with a red circle in the middle, right where Centerwood started. The police combed the forest for a week. The dogs lost track after 100 yards. Then they said that it must be a bear. But those who were there said there was no sound in the forest, not a single bird, not a single cricket. Only silence, so deep that it rings in the ears. A few years passed and everyone forgot. And then my brother Henry disappeared. He returned from the army different, quiet, reclusive. He constantly saw dreams. He said that someone was calling him. The voice is female, gentle, but cold, like water. One morning he said, "I'll go there, Bill. I have to find out who she is," and left. No weapons, no map. Just walked in the direction of Centerwood. We searched for him for 3 days. On the 4th, I went with the sheriff. The air there was thick, like fog in an old refrigerator. The sun barely made its way through the crowns, and time seemed to stand still. Every step we took sounded like a drum beat. And then silence. Absolute. We found only the brother's knife. Black, sticky, as if covered with something alive. And that's all. I still thought it was just an accident. But sometimes, at night, I heard a voice. Saying, "Bill, help me." And I could not understand whether it was my brother calling me or what had taken him. 20 years later, Centerwood was hardly mentioned. New people were arriving. The forest was overgrown. The road was closed. But 3 years ago, 2 students came with cameras, drones, a lot of equipment. They said they wanted to make a documentary about the cursed places of America. I warned them, but they just laughed. Old man, we are not children. We left in the morning and they did not return. The next day, the police found their SUV. The door is open, the keys in the lock. There are backpacks, phones in the cabin. Only there were no cameras. I went with the search parties. I was drawn then, even though I swore never to go there again. A mile from the road, the air became different, as if deeper. The dogs ran away. The walkie-talkies crackled. I heard a noise, not wind, not footsteps, something else, as if the forest was breathing. And then I saw that the camera was lying on the ground, still turned on. A video flashed on the screen. Someone was walking through the forest, and then a voice was heard. The same voice, quiet, feminine, and he said my name. Bill. I dropped the camera and ran back, only to see the policeman standing there as if he had been buried. A girl, one of the students, was lying on the ground. She was breathing, her eyes open, but empty. She whispered, There is no death there, only the forest. She was taken to the hospital, but after a few days she simply disappeared. She left the ward in the middle of the night without waking anyone, and no one saw her again. That evening I was sitting on the porch, listening to the rain, and suddenly I smelled something like centerwood, dampness, moss, old roots, and I heard steps. I went out on the road and there was a woman standing there, in the fog, pale as the light of the moon. She just looked at me without moving, and although I didn't see her face, I knew it was her, the one who called my brother. She raised her hand, and everything around fell silent, and I heard a whisper, "Soon." After that, I do not sleep well. Sometimes it seems that I never got out of that forest then, that all this is just his reflection, a shadow, and he just let me live a little longer, because every night, when the wind brings the smell of rain, I hear her voice. Now he doesn't call, he whispers, "You will be back." I know I will go there again someday. Not because I want to, and because Centerwood doesn't let anyone go. He just waits